Hey everyone, Sim Farmer here and welcome back to Forza Motorsport. This time we're going to be taking on the 4-Cylinder Fury series, which is part of the Combustion tour from Update 6. So as you can see from the title, this is all about 4-cylinder engine cars.
The humble 4-cylinder engine gained popularity as a solution for efficiency, designed to sip fuel and reduce emissions. Yet what was once a symbol of frugality has evolved into an exhilarating source of power through advancements such as direct injection and turbocharging. Modern 4-cylinder engines regularly boast performance figures that exceed 100 horsepower per litre. The marriage of smaller size, reduced weight, and turbocharging make these engines the ideal match for an array of exhilarating and fun-to-drive vehicles, and in so doing have generated a strong following with enthusiasts and tuners.
So yeah, it goes a bit of an intro into the 4-cylinder series. So we do have a choice of 12 cars we can choose from for this. So we've got the 2014 Alfa Romeo 4C, which I already own, as that is this week's spotlight car, and I've purchased that and set a time on the Rivals event using that particular car, and it's actually quite a nice car. And it's also only 522 on B class, so a bit of room for upgrades. We've got the Alpine A110, a car I'm interested in actually trying out, but not used it myself yet. 2017 Ford Focus RS, 2018 Honda Civic Type R, got the 2013 Mercedes-Benz A45 AMG, 2012 Mini Cooper Works GP. I thought I owned one of those. Maybe I own a different one. 2008 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 10 GSR. Then we've got the 2008 Porsche 718 Cayman GTS, which I already own one of those. I've got Renault Clio RS 16 Concept, Subaru STI S209, which I already own as well, and then the 2015 Subaru WRX STI to choose from. Those are a reasonable choice of cars. Again, I want to go with something I've not used before. I'm tempted by the Alfa, although I have used it. I haven't actually properly used it in racing terms. That I only did a few laps on the Rivals event at Yas Marina for this week's spotlight featured car. So tempted to use that. Honda Civic would be nice, but I think that 571 is quite high on the performance index already, so there's not much room for upgrade on that one. So yeah, I think I'm going to stick with the Alfa. It does mean that we do have a few extra points to start with. So mine's already up to level 5. As you can see, I've already got the Porsche, Subaru, level 10 and 18. So I'll stick with this one. So I've not actually used this in a race. So first race, Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. So we've got 900 points available. Oh, actually, the limit is A class. I didn't realise. As me thinking it's the same as the Open Series, it's fixed to B class. So yeah, any of the cars probably would do, as you've got plenty of room to upgrade them. And now I say I have used this car, and I did find it handled pretty well actually for a stock car. So there's not much. Trying to think what we could do to start with that will help a little bit. We could probably get a race clutch, race transmission, race driveline, race differential. We can't quite afford the race differential. 400 points, but we could go with a sport one. Can't do those. Not gonna be able to do springs, dampers. Maybe can get. Can't do the exhaust either. We should reduce the weight a little bit more. Get the race flywheel fitted as well. So it's improved the acceleration a little bit to 3.8, handling 3.2, and the braking's gone green as well. But again, it's a fairly well balanced car. Braking's a little bit lower than the others, and the acceleration's quite a bit higher. But that may be just the changes we've made. But might give us that little bit of advantage having that faster acceleration, maybe. Right, so the race is 5 laps this time, and what's that, 1 minute 30 laps, so they're going to be slightly longer race than the previous ones. But I'm going to do the same as before. I'll go through practice and then we'll jump straight into the race and see how we get on. Okay, so practice complete, and it went pretty well actually. I was about 5 seconds up on the bonus objective time and around about 4 seconds faster than second place. One thing I did forget to mention in the first video we did on here as well, and Stevie did ask me, was the difficulty. Currently I'm on driver tire difficulty 5 using expert rules. So we get a plus 51% credit bonus for the difficulty. Hopefully at some point I'll be able to up that to 6 as I hopefully get a bit better. But yeah, we're on 5 at the moment. So fuel is done. Let's just double check. So we've got 6 laps of fuel, 5 lap race, so there should be plenty. So let's get into the first race of the 4-cylinder series. As you can see, our projected finish in first is projected finish in starting in 12th is first. I would have to move that down. I'm going to keep it at 12 because find any further back and it just then becomes a bit too difficult with the fewer lap races. This is can be a quite tricky course to overtake in a few areas. So we've got 2 long straights, which will probably be our best opportunity to get past a lot of the drivers, and then after that it's probably not until we get back round to that straight again. But we'll see how it goes. So hopefully we can push up the grid and get a podium finish on our first race in the series would be nice. Make a change from last time. Took us, what, 3 races before we could get onto the podium. Alright, there's no penalty there. There's a bit of, I'll just say, a racing incident. He came across a little bit too much and I really couldn't really go anywhere else onto the right hand side. It was right at the edge of the track. We're up to 9th place, which is not too bad of a start. I say this is going to be difficult overtaking in areas like this, so we're probably better off just playing it safe and waiting for our opportunity on the straights. So another collision, at least no penalty again. I do think the since the last update the penalty system seems to be much improved. Still feel like at times it's got room for more improvement, but it does seem a lot better than it was before. He did not want to let me through then. So up to 7th. I think the first place was probably pretty right on this one. This is a very, very nice car, so I do really like driving this one actually for a change. Some of the other cars I've tried when you've pretty much come from stock, oh, a bit wide there. They're really not very good at handling at all, and I don't particularly like them too much. But this one is actually really nice, quite surprised. I do really like driving this. My fault trying to get down the inside of the Mini, then bad move by me. It's definitely races like this where I feel like the driver tyres are a little bit slow. If we can get up the inside coming up to this first corner. And we passed the Mini up into 6th place. Was that nervy moment when you get a collision, just waiting to see if they're going to punish you. Should be able to get past this Honda. Puts us up into 4th. We've still 2 laps to go. Late on the brakes there. That's me looking up at wherever I was in position rather than concentrating on the track. Nearly didn't give myself enough time to slow down for that corner then. So these are the silly mistakes I usually make, where I just that little lapse of concentration at the wrong place and then end up messing up. Keep close to this one. Now we should get this one on the first straight. Maybe not quite enough to get in front before this corner. I know he's on the inside somewhere. I always find with this I've got the side buttons, but I always find they're difficult to actually press on this steering wheel, especially when you're going around corners. We're up to 3rd and we've still got 1 full lap after this one. And 1st and 2nd are just ahead of us. I think we should easily get on P1 for this race. Well, this is one of the circuits I do like. There are some that I'm really rubbish at. It doesn't matter how well I try and do them, I'm just really slow. And get past this Renault. Is he going to give us a bit of room? No, he's just going to cut straight across us even though he's right down the side of him. I'll just go around the outside instead. Oh, no. There's you're going way too fast into that corner. Has that blown our chances of P1 in the first race?
Final lap.
Get back past this Renault. Down in 4th at the moment. That's a costly mistake. Went way too fast into that corner. But will we have enough race left to catch up with 1st place? Well, we can do this. There's no silly mistake this time on that bomb bend. I still find that the AI does turn into you a little bit too much sometimes. Especially when I was like right down the side of him then. Remember to actually brake for this corner this time. And bring you home in P1 on the first race, which was a nice surprise. It doesn't happen very often.
Good work today.
So best lap 1:43.561, which was what, a couple of seconds, well, second and a half faster than the next best one. So 28 points after the first race, which is a nice start. Oh, it's James in the Renault. It's always his driver tire that gives me grief. So podium in the first race. That one was a little bit easy, to be honest. It's one of those that, for that particular circuit of driver tire difficulty 6, would probably be a little bit more of a challenge. But I doubt we would have got first at that with only 5 laps. And then the next race could be Virginia International Race, where I absolutely suck at. So where are we? Grand Oak. Oh, I do like Grand Oak as well. So we've got another 1,150 points to spend. I do like the way the car this handles pretty well as it is, but I think get some race brakes on. That's going to improve the handling a little bit more. I think speed-wise, compared to what we were racing, I think the speed was pretty good. But we could also go with some race suspension and leave us with 50 points then, which we'll probably save until we've got a few more points to put on. Unless we want to reduce the weight a little bit by changing the hood. Don't think side skirts. That's not side skirts. It's trying to look like a safety car. Beacons on the top of it. A bit of a random choice to put on, and it's definitely not side skirts. So why they come up on side skirts, I do not know. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. So we've got 25 points left, but we'll save those. So our new is a little bit increase on the acceleration. The braking is the biggest increase from 2.9 to 3.3, which will definitely help me sometimes when I'm a bit late on the brakes. So yeah, we'll head over to Grand Oak Raceway. I'll get the practice done again, and then we'll jump straight into the next race. Okay, so practice complete. I did post the fastest lap time again, but it was only a second and a half faster, and I think it was only about a second and a half faster than the bonus objective time as well. So not a huge time difference compared to the previous race. So it did take a few laps just to get used to turning into the corners from the opposite direction that I'm used to. Does look like there's a little bit of rain, but look wet at the moment. That may change by the end of the race. Let's see how we get on in this one. Let's see if we can gain a few places down this straight. We're up to 7th already. Not too bad of a start. There was a little bit of a collision on the first straight. I think that was somebody else that hit the back of me. Up to 6, so we passed that Honda. Coming to the end of the first lap. So up to 6, so we gained 6 places on the first lap, it's not too bad, so gives us a good chance of actually getting on the podium again. 5.5 seconds currently behind the number 1 driver. Oh, it's a bit slippy on the curb there. Almost lost it. Remember to try and keep off the curbs. Yeah, we do seem to be losing a few seconds on the lead. See if we can get past this Subaru. Up into 5th. The end of the second lap. We definitely need to try and close that gap on the first place. He's starting to pull away a little bit. Let's see what our lap time is for lap 2. 1:33, so a couple of seconds slower than we were in practice on the fastest lap at least. Still got room to push a little bit more. A little bit too far away to pass anybody this time down this straight. We can get a bit closer for the next one. A little bit too far back, but we are closing the gap. Down 6.4 on the lead. It looks like here comes the rain. A bit heavier now. We could be in for a bit of a slippy last couple of laps. So final 2 laps. So we are not falling any further behind. We're 6 seconds behind the lead, so we are gained a little bit, but we're not moving up in position. We really need to try and get past this other Alfa. See if we can get past him on this straight. So up to 4th, 3rd is just ahead. Yeah, I think 1st place is a little bit too far ahead. We're not going to catch him by the final lap, so but it'd be nice to get on the podium again at least. And there's James up in 2nd by the looks of it. And here's Renault. And we'll probably be battling him on the final lap for 2nd place.
One more lap.
4.5 seconds behind first. I think we'll be a little too far ahead just to realistically catch them on this final lap. A podium finish would be nice, and if we can get up to second, that would be even better. So come on, see if we can get past on this straight. Go up to second. Oh, there's typical James's driver tire crashing into me again. Pretty much every race his driver tires hit me at some point. Make sure we don't mess up on this final corner and bring it home in P2, which was one place above our projected finish starting in 12th, so that's not too bad. But again, it's another one of those, another few laps, and we probably have been able to catch up with first.
Great race.
Down roll 69.
Finished P2.
The fastest lap 1:32.350, which only 10, well, what's that, less than 1/10 of a second slower than the other fastest, so not too bad. But yeah, it was 1 second down from practice on my fastest lap. But we're still in first position overall, 53 points after 2 races, 2 to go. A good chance we actually win this championship for a change. So where are we off to next? Virginia International Raceway, typical. Grand East as well. This is 3 laps. This is a circuit I'm really not familiar with that well. I've done the main circuit a few times, and that's not too bad. But these ones where it goes infield a bit, yeah, they're not my strongest of tracks. So we've got 3 laps for this one. Performance, we've got just over 1,000 points to use. Last race we're lacking a little bit of power, but I'm also thinking we were on the edge of pushing the car handling wise. If I don't really put too much more power into it and then risk the handling suffering, so I think I may look at doing the tyre whips. So we can push this. Maybe go the full. That's going to be 200 points. So go the full front and rear and keep stock tyres for now. I should increase the handling quite a bit. So 3.6, 3.7 accelerate. So we are down a little bit on speed now. I could also probably do the anti-roll bars, race on front and rear of those. And then possibly look at getting another engine upgrade. Maybe the exhaust. Can't quite afford the full race exhaust, but we could get the sport one. Maybe the sport air filter as well. We're left with 75 points, which probably we're not going to find anything to spend those on this time. Keep those for the next race. So speeds up to 3.4, 3.8 braking, 3.6 handling, and 4.2 acceleration. But we'll see how that goes. Say Virginia International is definitely not my strongest track, so I'm anticipating a very poor finish on this one. But I'll give it my best shot. It's definitely one of those I'm not overly familiar with. Not using the braking line as well, or the race line, makes it obviously a lot more difficult, especially when you're not familiar with the track. And I'm definitely not familiar with this particular layout. So it's going to be an interesting race. Okay, so practice complete. I didn't do particularly well. I think 3 minutes 6 was my best lap, which was about 3 seconds off the bonus objective time. So yeah, not great. I say this is not one of my favourite circuits, especially this layout as well. I'm not overly familiar with it at all. So it's going to be interesting to see how we can do. So fortunately, we only have 3 laps, but whether I'll survive all 3 laps without wrecking the car or finishing last place, I don't know. We shall see. So let's jump into the race. So you see, projected finish is going to be 7th to 9th, starting in 12th. I'll be lucky if I finish 7th to 9th, starting in 12th, to be honest. I definitely think I'm going to finish further back in the grid, but you never know. I'll just have to follow the cars in front of me as best as I can. There is one corner that always catches me out on the infield section where you kind of, it's on the just over the brow of the hill and it dips off to the left, and I always miss time turning in and turning a bit too late and end up going off. But hopefully we won't have that problem if there's cars ahead to follow. But yeah, we'll give it our best shot. Let's see. I mean, a top 10 finish would be nice, but yeah, I'm not holding any hopes up for that. Gonna get it forced out a little bit wide there. I did get a slight lag spike going around that corner, which I must say yesterday when I was recording, it didn't happen once. Thank you for that. And yeah, I've already got one as well. So I'm recording this the day after the first 2 races. I was like to stop recording. So yeah, yesterday the practice sessions and both races, I don't remember having that problem with the like micro stuttering every so often. I've already had it once so far. They're still not sure what actually the cause of that is, and it can be quite off-putting at times. But we're in 10th place currently, which I'll be happy if we finish in 10th. Really nice twisty slow section, and now this corner coming up is the one that always gets me. I say I'm always a little bit too late turning in, or a little bit too fast, because you don't see where the actual curb is on this left hand side until you're right over that brow of that hill, which sometimes for me is a little bit too late then, and I'm off in the grass. But we've got through the first lap fine. That's always a good start. So only 2 more times we've got to go around there. We're already 15 seconds off the lead. So this is not my fastest track. I'm well too, well under the pace in certain sections. Too far behind to try and catch anybody this time on the straight. I also think for this track at least, down this straight, this car could benefit with a slight adjustment in the gear ratios just to get a bit more speed down here. We're not getting anywhere near the maximum. You see 9th place is starting to pull away from us as well. But 10th place at the end of the first lap, I say if I can maintain 10th I'll be happy. But there's still always a risk of me messing up at some point and getting a bit further down. But at least being this far back on the grid, I'm away from James's driver tar. Always Usually cause me a bit of grief in races. I'll take advantage of those two going a bit slow up to 8th. Oh, now that's the corner I always mess up on. I managed to get through it a second time unscathed, so all good. If we could nick a couple more places on the next lap and get into 6th, that would be amazing. I'll be very happy with a 6th place finish. We'll see if we can get a couple more places on the next lap. That lag spike doesn't just throw me off again. So 14 seconds off the lead, so we've... Oh, James is actually leading as well, which is embarrassing. He can't race that well in real life, trust me. This might actually not be too bad of a lap for me. Coming up to 3 minutes. It's still going to be a little bit slower than practice. 3:04. I think the practice time... Oh yeah, 3 minutes 6. So actually that was about 2 seconds up. And we're hot on the heels of 7th place. So I reckon in that same position where I overtook the previous 2 cars, we might be able to get past these 2 as well. So I do find the AI drivers are a little bit slow coming out of that bend on that section. We can get close enough and maybe able to get past those 2, or at least one of them gain an extra place. Or maybe not this time. Yeah, not quite. I was hoping. That lag spike was not a very good place, and I've just forced that car to go off. Not sure how I didn't get a penalty for that, because I'm pretty sure that was my fault. We were saying that little micro stutter again, then it just kind of delays everything. There's no input. I really need to try and sort out what that problem is and get it fixed, because it can be very costly at times. And I don't want to keep moaning about it in videos as well. It did also cost us a few places. We are down to 9th now. So yeah, any chances of 6th place finish have long gone. But as I did say at the start, I'll be happy with 10th or top 10, so we finish in this position, I think that's an achievement for me personally. It's definitely a circuit I would like to get a bit better on and get a bit faster. It's just getting that bit of confidence, knowing the braking points and when to turn in. And just be a bit braver as well and a bit faster in some of the corners, because I'm definitely a bit overcautious and do slow a little bit too much. So P9, which I say, I was expecting to do worse than that, so I'll take that. I think we probably would have been able to hold on to 7th place at least if I hadn't got that slight lag spike going into that one corner with the Porsche, which I feel sorry for, because I think
Out there.
I cost him a few places as well. But yeah, P9 for race number 3, so that puts us second in the championship overall, 1 place behind James. There's 3 points in it as we go into the final race of this series, which hopefully it's on a track I like. But I'm still really impressed with this car actually, it's a really nice car to drive. Let's skip through this and see where we're off. Maple Valley, I think it is the club circuit though. So we've got a few more points to upgrade. So 2,325, and the PI index has now increased to S class. So we can get a few more upgrades on. So I've done the full race brakes, suspension, roll bars, drivetrain. I think we've done everything we can do. Oh, we can get the full race differential now. That unlocked. And I really would like to do the tyres. Get some race tyres on, because I definitely think that's really worth the upgrade. That just takes up to A6535, but definitely improve the car handling quite considerably. Exhaust we've got, so can't quite afford the single turbo, but we could possibly do the exhaust to the race and race air filter. That leaves us 125 points, which I don't think there's much we're going to find. Would have done the full race flywheel. We did the race oil and cooling, and that leaves us with 25 points. So we're up to A655 PI index with 4.5 acceleration, 3.6 speed, 4.4 handling, and 4.5 braking. So fairly well balanced, although the speed is falling behind the other ones. Hopefully that won't cost us having that bit of lack of speed in the final race. So Maple Valley full circuit, nice, which I do really like Maple Valley. It's probably one of my favourite tracks in Forza and has been for a long time in the various versions of the game. So as before, I'll get practice done, then we'll jump straight in with the race and see if we can actually win this championship this time. 3 points to make up, so we definitely need to come ahead of James. But we'll see how we get on. Right, practice went okay up until one lap where I completely wrecked the car on the final corner. I did a 1:47.122, I think was my fastest up to that point, which at the time was the fastest overall lap. But I imagine that the other cars probably got a little bit faster in the remaining 6 minutes of practice. So yeah, it's probably not the fastest overall. So we've got 4 laps for this race, so 21% of fuel should be fine. Soft tyres. We are on 8 PM start time. The weather is clear, so I think being night, I think the track temperatures are going to be a bit lower. So there may not be as much grip in the track as there is during the day. So it may get a little bit lower grip over the race. So projected finish is 2nd to 4th. So I'm confident we can achieve that, all being well. I think it all depends on the first lap. If we get a really good first lap, then we should be fine. But if we give ourselves too much to do after the first lap, it's going to be too much of a struggle to achieve that. So we really need a very good first lap, and James is our target driver to beat. He's 3 points ahead of us in the championship currently, so we need to finish ahead of James. It was usually at the start of the grid. So yeah, we've got quite a bit of work to do in 4 laps. So hopefully we can get this a really good first lap and give us ourselves an opportunity to actually achieve our goal. There's one car gone off. I think that was actually James. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure I saw his name flick through the driver list. Oh, bit of contact between. Oh. No. It's a bit of a lag spike then. Thought I was going to get taken out by that car that was spinning round. Yeah, and so far it seems to be very difficult to get some temperature in the tyres. They seem to be staying blue, which is not good. That does mean we're going to have a bit of less grip, especially in some of these faster corners as well. We're going to have to be a bit extra careful. Yeah, I can definitely feel the car sliding around a little bit more than usual. We're definitely not going to be able to push as hard as I would like on this track, at least. Yeah, definitely feeling it now. Probably one of those, may have been wise to probably adjust tyre pressures, but that's kind of a bit beyond my skill level, knowing what changes to make for different track temperatures and stuff like that. I usually just go with default settings most of the time. I know I should really learn how to tune cars properly. I have been trying to understand it a bit more. I understand the concepts of what changes to make, but it's working out how to exactly change cars to get the best out of them for each track and different driving styles and say different track temperatures as well, affecting the tyre temperatures. So we're only 10th, so we've only gained 2 places on the first lap, but I do think we are ahead of James, so that is a bonus. But then there's other drivers that were just below us in the championship. They're probably going to pick up a lot more points than us, so definitely think we really need to try and get a few more places if we can. Yeah, definitely can't get through that corner as fast as I would normally go. Definitely feel the car starting to slide around. Definitely really struggling with grip. This has actually turned out to be a bit of a tougher race than I was expecting. Which I had high hopes with this one being the final track. I really do like this one, but I'm struggling a little bit to keep it stable through the corners. See if we can get around the inside on this one. There's definitely one part of the race where I'm nowhere near as quick as I would normally be. Especially this corner here. I do feel like that weight transfer shift as you go down the downhill section really taking all the grip out of the rear tyres.
Final lap. You got this.
So yeah, final lap, and we're running in 9th currently. Just way down where I would like to be. Nowhere near our projected finish either. And so I really needed a very good first lap to give us any chance of achieving that. Yeah, I think it was only up to 10th after the first lap, and we've not really made any progress on that since. So try and avoid hitting that Mitsubishi. Seem to be battling for 8th place. Right, going up the elevator bend for the final time. Let's just hope we don't mess up now. Just remember to take it a bit careful through here. There we go, into the final bend. I'm definitely not going to be taking this at full speed. No risk in wrecking it on the final corner when we're not going to catch up anyway. So 8th place, quite disappointed with that actually.
Nicely done.
Yeah, it looks
You
like
finished P8.
James finished down in 20th, but I think some of the other cars are going to be ahead of us. So, oh, we did win overall. 86 points, 1 point in it over Dan Roll 69. So, yeah, we actually won a championship. Yay! That's the 4-cylinder Fury series complete. That last race was quite nervy, especially seeming to have such lack of grip in the car. I definitely think I could have benefited with probably adjusting the tyre pressures a little bit. I think I'll have to look into for future races. It's not something I often pay attention to. I just usually hit race and away we go. So there we go, that's the 4-cylinder Fury series complete from the Combustion Tour, which is the latest featured tour from the update 6. So the next one starts in 4 days, 12 hours, 33 minutes for me, which is the Super 6s. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, then let me know in the comments, give it a thumbs up, and I'll happily do another one and work through these one a week until we get to the showcase for and unlock the Pagani for this series. But yeah, we've got our first gold trophy. So the Builders Cup is... So the next one for that is the B-Class series. Yeah, so if you enjoyed the video, then give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. And hopefully you enjoyed it. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, then please do consider subscribing. I'll try and get some more videos out on Forza. As I'm playing it quite a bit myself, really, and enjoying it as well. So yeah, I thought I'd do some content on it, and hopefully the videos will improve as well the more I do. So yeah, if you did enjoy it, then consider subscribing, and I'll see you all in the next one, which will be probably the Builders Cup Open to a B-Class. Because obviously with this one we can't do until it unlocks. So yeah, we'll probably get the B class open tour, which is the next one in that series, doing next. So yeah, hopefully I've enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. Take care and goodbye.